Hi folks, it's Simon Keeling here and it's Wednesday the 18th of January. Thanks for joining me. As always, the sites get free of charge by the adverts you see around, so if you see an advert that you like, do click on it, go through to the sponsor. It generates revenue for us and it shows the sponsor that you're interested in what they're doing as well. Of course, don't just click on the advert because it's there. You know, if it's something you want to buy or you want to have a look at, then do click on it. That's what generates the revenue and keeps the site free of charge. Now, big news for today. I'm starting to build this picture. You know, we are about to see the start of winter proper, and I think it's going to be coming through towards the end of next week. Now, we're still a week away, so anything can happen, but I really do think we're starting to see the start of a change. Now, again, I stress to all you snow lovers out there and cold weather lovers, this is not last year. This is not the winter of 2010, 2011. This is not deep freeze for weeks on end, but I certainly think we could be in for a cold snap end of January, beginning of February, the likes of which we haven't really seen during the course of this winter, but I think it's going to be after the middle of next week before we see it. Let me show you some of the signs that I'm seeing here, and I'm going to focus on this during this video, so I'm going to focus on this spell next week. This is the means of the 500 millibar heights from a week today through till Saturday the 28th. This is the ECMWF on the left here, we've got the GFS here on the right, and what I want you to notice here is the trough that we've got digging through the British Isles and into the western parts of Europe. And we have got this ridge, we've got high pressure here, look out towards the central parts of Europe, but it's this trough really that's the main story, as well as this ridge that's coming off the States. Notice that both models, ECMWF and GFS, in fairly good agreement, which kind of backs up the idea that this is the sort of pattern that we're going to go to, and it's this trough that's crucial. You see, if you follow back the height lines, look at where the air is originating, right there at the pole. So we're actually seeing proper polar air coming through the British Isles, which is what's going to make things much cooler towards the back end of next week and into next weekend. Now, this is something else that I want to show you as well. This is from the GFS ensemble run from 6 o'clock this morning. So this is valid for, let me tell you when this is valid for. This is next Tuesday the 31st, so a week on Tuesday. What I want you to notice, the left here is the mean of the ensemble runs, which is showing, look, this flow coming across the Atlantic, still in the cool flow. But what I want you to look at is this white line here. British Isles is under here. Yes, I know it looks a complete and utter mess. That's why it's called a spaghetti plot, because this is the plot of all the different various runs of the model. But it's this white line that I want you to notice, because that's part of the mean of the heights. And look, we've got here a trough across Iberia and Spain into the eastern Atlantic, and a ridge across the British Isles. This means high pressure is seen as being here, with a trough through Iberia. Now what that does is it tends to turn our flow into the southeast, which of course at this time of year is a cold direction, but with high pressure there, that means that conditions will be dry and cool as well, which is why I think that as we go into the beginning part of February, we are likely to be seeing significantly more frosts than we've been used to. It's just another comparison of the 500 millibar charts for you. This is valid for the 28th of January. We've got the ECMWF in the middle here, we've got the GFS at the top, and look, this is Saturday the 28th. Look, we've got a ridge through the British Isles, and we've got a ridge here to the west of the British Isles on the ECMWF, both seeing a trough look in the Western Atlantic. This is good agreement between the models, and that's why we can trust that this change is about to take place. So, what about the indexes? This is the North Atlantic Oscillation. You can see how it drops off from being positive, goes into negative territory quite quickly. It's doing that by Monday, so by early next week, and it kind of bounces around along this neutral to negative territory through next week. The Arctic Oscillation is well into negative territory, and what that tells us is that we've got weaker winds coming across the Atlantic, we've got weaker winds going around the pole, which is allowing this cold air to drain off the pole and come southwards, and it's that's going to be affecting the British Isles during the period from the middle part of next week. So this is how the forecast charts see it at the surface. I've taken next Wednesday as an example for you. I just wanted to show you where they're seeing things. This is the GFS look. It's got low pressure up towards the northeast, bringing in these northwesterly winds. This could be the first day that we really see significant snowfall potentially over the Scottish Highlands. And this brings cooler air down across all parts of the country. Now the ECMWF does a similar thing. Low pressure is still close by, look, still got this trough here, but it's not actually shifting the low towards the east. So the ECMWF is slower in bringing the cold air in. We need this side to get over here to bring the cold air in. The ECMWF is slower by about 12 to 24 hours. The Canadian model also has it, look. It's got colder air coming in. Yes, the low is in a slightly different position. It goes between the GFS and the ECMWF, and again it's about 24 hours slower than the GFS, but eventually it shifts its low out towards the east with that cooler northerly flow coming in for all. So we're building this idea all the time of this colder air coming in from the middle part of next week. And really that's where the CFS saw it. The CFS is the long range model. It's the long range version of the GFS, and you know, if we look at week 2, you've got to twist your head to see this, because the British Isles is there upside down, look, because this is focused on the North Pole and the Pacific. But these are the height anomalies of 500 millibars, and look, there's the trough at 500 millibars. So it's got this idea of this trough at the end of the month, turning things colder, and I think that could be bringing some outbreaks of snow before pressure then builds and we go back into colder, frostier conditions early February. This is early February, and again it's still got the trough there. Look, this is the period the 1st to the 7th of Feb, and it's still got the trough there, so still keeping us relatively cold. And then between the 8th and the 14th, another trough coming through. Now, I'm not sure that I believe this week 3 and week 4. It looks a little bit too troughy to me. I think pressure probably is going to build, and we'll find those cold conditions coming through. Now, this is what I've been advising private clients as to how things look. This is how I see the 1st to the 10th of February in terms of temperature anomalies. Of course, it helps if I can spell forecast, doesn't it? In terms of temperature anomalies. And you can see that what I'm trying to do is to bring most of the British Isles around 0 to 2 degrees below normal. I think the real cold is going to be felt through Scandinavia. Big shock after the mild conditions of this winter so far there, with 2 to 4 degrees below normal. Nearer normal across central parts of France, and probably above normal here towards the southwest of Ireland, where we've got lower pressure. But that's where I'm seeing temperatures going at the moment. That's how I think they're going to develop. So I think what we've got to look for is a change from the middle part of next week, the risk of some snow coming through, higher pressure then building right at the very end of January, sort of 31st of January, 1st of February. I think that's going to be out towards the east with a southeasterly flow coming through the country, and I think February starts off cold and frosty. The question then becomes, how long does it last? At the moment I'm thinking 10th, 11th, 12th possibly, but we need to see more evidence before I can really firm up on that. Incidentally, Captain Bob thinks there's a chance that high could be in for most of February. So I hope that's been useful for you, and I hope I haven't whittled on too long. Do tell your friends about the site, show them what's going on here. And thanks again for watching. Don't forget, as I said, the site is kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the site. So once again, thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining.